Okay, in this video, we're just going to go through doing creating the sketch for the Lego head drawing. So the first thing that we're going to do with that is we're going to click on the sketch, create sketch, and then, I'm not at home, we'll go back home, and then we're going to click on sketch, and then we're going to select which plane we're going to do it on. So we're going to click it on this one here. It doesn't really matter which one it is, either which way it still works. And then from there, we're going to create a sketch. Okay, so we're just going to start by using the line tool. We're going to be using the line tool most of the time. We're just going to click in one place and draw to the left, and we're just drawing just the very top of the Lego head, but only the left half of it, and then so that we can revolve it around. So the top one is 4.88, so we're just going to put in 2.44 and check that in there. Now that's really small, so we're just going to use the mouse to zoom in there all the way. And now that we've got that, we're able to click there and do the side going down. So it's 2.1 down, 2.01, I think. And then 1.27 across. There's that small kind of one that's hard to see. 1.27. Right. And so from here, I'll just delete these dimension lines to make things a little bit easier to see. From here, we need to then create this little radius there, which you'll be able to see on your piece of paper, which is 1.75, right? Now, when we're creating a radius, we're going to use our arc sketch tool, and we'll use the center point arc. Now, the tricky thing about the center point arc is that you start from the center radius, bring it on out to the height that you want to do it, which is 1.75 there, and then you draw it around. Oh, that didn't work. But the point is that it doesn't really work unless you have the center radius. So first we need to find the center. Thankfully, because we have the radius, we know exactly where the center of our circle is, because that's how geometry works. So we've just created a line here, and that is the distance of the radius, which means that this here is our central radius for our arc. So we're going to use the arc tool and the center point arc. We'll start by clicking in the center of the radius, dragging it out to the point, and it is going to snap to where the full length of the radius is, and it will draw all the way out. Okay, and that's that. So from there, we can carry on going down. So that side there is what, 6.25. And then we've got to do exactly the same thing at the radius at the bottom. So that radius is 1.83. So I'll just go 1.83 there. Again, to create that central radius. And then we use exactly the same technique here by using the arc and the center point arc, clicking on the center of the radius, and then out on the edge of it. And then to make sure that we get 90 degrees, we're just going to type in 90 there. Otherwise, it's quite easy to overshoot. Now, it's a little bit hard to kind of see what's happening here. So I'm going to go through and delete some of these things that aren't needed, all of these dimension lines here. And you can kind of see where we are at. We've gone through down to here. However, on the plans, there is a gap between this point and this other one, but it's actually hard to work out what that distance is. So what we're going to do is we're going to almost start working backwards. But what we're going to do now, we're going to need to create a height for the base of that. So we do know that it is 1.19 down. and then that 1.19 down. So we know then that from there to up to that top is the full height of what we're going to create. So we're just going to create a line from here down to the base. And to make sure that it lines up, what we can do is we just move across, snap to it, and then bring it back, and it will automatically snap to the correct height that we want. Now that across the base of the leg here, just 3.26. Okay, and we're going to zoom in, and we can kind of see a little bit what's happening here. And this one here is 1.19, and then across. And as soon as it clicks in, you can see that that fills in. I'm just going to delete that line that we don't need now. Okay, you can see that the once we've made that connection line, it fills in the shape, and we can go from there. From there, we can use that, take that and use the revolve tool. So I'll click Stop Sketch, and we can do the revolve tool from there, and then next